thank you for watching today. This is part of our Build a Guitar series. And this side bender was something I did a lot of research on. I had it designed in SketchUp a lot like everybody's homemade side bender, but then I started looking at StewMac's one that they make, how it's open-sided, how it uses this adjustable shoe for doing the waist. And this can be adapted to any waist. So it's not just for the Dreadnought. Now this body mold here is kind of an overkill, but if I need other ones, a cutaway, I can just change this mold out, adjust this, and we can do a lot of different styles of guitar. So this is very versatile. The StewMac one is around $1,600, and all in with the electrical and all the stainless steel, the rubber mat, the wood, the crank, everything, I'm $280. So considerable savings, and I think it's every bit as nice. There's some nice features. The way I've got it wired is pretty tidy. The electrical here, these springs come up, and the thermostat for the wiring comes into the rubber here. And I took the thermostat that came with the rubber out and replaced it here, and then ran it through up to here. So I have a digital thermostat here. It's way more accurate than the ones that come with the rubber mats. This is the back of it, and this slides up and down in here so you can adjust this, but it's very firm. The springs come through to release. The springs are able to come off like this for loading and reloading. Something I should have done is I should not have lacquered this in here because the lacquer is burnt. I should have left that raw. But you know, every time you do something the first time, you learn from it, or at least hopefully. So the design with the open like this, now if I want to put a piece, after the piece has been bent, with the traditional design, this has to go way up out of the way to get the side out. But because this is open, I can slide it out right here. Plus, it's very easy to adjust to make sure you get it true. I've had 2 failures in side bending, and both of them are user error. So it's nice to be able to avoid that. And hopefully I'm able to do it without any user error today. The SketchUp file, I have a SketchUp file on this that I'm willing to share if somebody uses SketchUp and a cut list to make your own. It's pretty easy. And I'm willing to share that. So just comment to me and I'll send it to you individually. When it came to the wood for this series of guitars, we're using Sapele, and I took 5/4 Sapele and then resawed it. And I have a little video on the resawing that you'd like to watch. But it really helps to be able to resaw it accurately with my little bandsaw, so that's nice. But after it's resawed, I sand it to thickness, and then I have this pattern jig that the 2 sides go in. They're matched. That's the front, head, tail, and these are book matched together. So these are pattern routed in here, and what this does is this gives the shape for the taper of the body of the guitar, but also gives the shape for the 15-foot radius of the back. So this jig does that. And so here we are now with our side. And then what we do is we take this side and I put it on some tin foil like that. And then you simply spritz it down to get it wet. This is where the user error can come in, because we got to keep track of the head and the front edge. Okay, so now the front edge is facing me and the head is facing my right side here. So now this has been spritzed on both sides. Just fold this in, fold this in. Now I'm keeping track that this is my front edge and my head. So now this guy comes around. Because this is my front edge, I have to keep this parallel to the edge in between my plates here. There's 2 plates above. Actually, there's 1 stainless steel plate, and then the rubber mat, and then my side, and then another stainless steel plate. I have a little bit more working room. Okay, This is where it gets a little bit tricky here. I like to line this up so that it is about a ½ inch away or so from this edge, and an inch or so from the end. So we get that, and we pinch that right there. Now we come down here and get the same ½ inch. If you do this backwards and you line it up to the back edge, the side's a failure, and so we don't want that. And this can be kind of finicky to fiddle with it a little bit. I'm going to go ahead and plug the bender in so it starts getting hot. Okay, so the temp's starting to work up. Okay, I've got a center mark here where I like to line up on center. And before I pinch this down, I like to make sure that this is nice and true. Okay, so that's good. Got my little clippies here. It helps hold everybody happy. Okay, that's beautiful. Okay, boy, that was particularly easy. Sometimes that's a little fussier than that. This time it went pretty easy. Okay, so you got your 4 little clips. That helps line everything up. Come around this side. So I've got center marks marked on my stainless here that helps me line everything up. So now as I can start to put a little bit of pressure on it. And I want to make sure that I'm all centered up. And I'll put a little more pressure. So far, it's only up to 71 degrees, so it's not ready to really go under full pressure. So this gives me some time. We don't have to be real anxious about stuff to pull the springs back on. So it's kind of nice that you don't have to, if you ever done steam bending, it's really anxious because the timing is you only got just a few moments, but this is much more casual. So we're up to 84 degrees. I won't start putting any real pressure on it. And you can tell it's starting to get a little bit warm. See a little bit of steam maybe, but it's not, we gotta let it heat up just a bit. And it takes a minute. And here's the center mark here. And then if you get right inside there, you can see there's a center mark right here that helps me to keep my waist at the same point each time. And I got the head on this side and the face on the front over here. Okay, so we're up to 112 degrees. You can start to see it get hot. So I can put a little more pressure here. Check my alignment. Make sure everybody's doing good. A little bit more pressure. We're almost down in the waist right here now. You can hear it creak a little bit. Okay, so now the waist is down. We're up to 136. Now we can start to pull this around. You have to be careful not to burn yourself on this. You can hear it sizzling. Okay, that's that side. I like to keep a paper towel queued up to get a little bit of moisture that comes out here. Now this one here, we're up to 170, so this is ready to bend. You can hear it sizzling. There it is. Now that side's bent. And you see this gap in there, that's where the side is inside there. Okay, we're up to 187. So this thermostat will shut off automatically at 294. So we'll just let it cook here until it gets up to 280 or so, or 290, and then we'll unplug it. So, but that's it. So when it comes out of the bender, I have these drying racks here. You can see, because I'm doing a series of guitars, and this helps hold it into the shape while it's awaiting having the rims joined. And this is just some little simple pieces of MDF that fit together like, let's see, like so. and that will do the body of the guitar. And then there's a one that fits around the outside, and a wedge here locks it all in place. And that does it. And then the rims are over here. And so I'm using the outside clamp, and here are some of the completed rims. Four so far completed. And there's one in a clamp right here in the mold that we did this morning. So let's go back and check our temperature. Okay, we're at 247, 248. We're almost there. So this is in real time. So this hasn't taken, just a few minutes to then decide. And like I said, the only ones that I've had problems with are ones that I made mistakes. Maybe I'll grab those and show you the mistakes. Here's my first mistake. And what happened was I lined it up to the back edge. Now, because of the back edge you can see how twisted this ended up, because it was trying to do it to the shaped back edge, not the straight front edge. You can see the front edge is straight, but the back edge is quite. And see how twisted that is. So that was a failure. The other one was I got the head and the tail reversed. And you can see this is the big bout.
What's the temperature?
Oh, 288. We're getting very close. So I could unplug it now. Okay, so it got up to 290. Now I'll just let it cool like that, and then when it's cool, it'll be ready to come out. This failure is wide here. This is up at the top bout, and the bottom bout is thin, so this one was backwards. So both of them, but not once in these 7 guitars has the bender failed me. It's been user error every time. So I'm really proud of that bender. And then we'll see the sides coming together in the next video as we put the rim together, and then we'll do a video on kerfing. But I thank you for watching. And again, if you want the plans for this or the cut lists, I'm happy to share that. It's not that hard. Please enjoy your work, and thank you for watching today. Like and subscribe.